Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. So today I am going to make a standing spray that's all red roses, and I wanted to show you how I was going to put that together. I'm starting out with a fresh floral cage. So this is an easel made cage. It has fresh floral foam in there, and it's just a solid back. It's got holes, so I always hang it right onto my stand, and then I'm going to use some zip ties to attach it. So on the top hole, I'm just pushing my zip tie through and zipping it right to the stand there. And then it's got holes on each end down here. I'm going to take that zip tie and zip tie it in place. Now you want to attach your foam in 3 different places. That's going to guarantee it's not going to fall off. It's very important that you have really good mechanics so that your arrangement doesn't fall apart, right? So I'm going ahead and cutting those tabs off with my scissors. I'm going to throw those tabs away. Always cut your tabs off, it just looks nicer. It's important that you make this look nice. You want a finished product when it's done. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to tie a bow. So we're going to use, they wanted a silver colored ribbon. So I am going to tie a bow. This is just floral satin. I'm going to start with a center loop. So I'm catching that ribbon with my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm just making a center loop. And then I'm going to twist that ribbon. I'm going to make a loop, twist, a loop, twist, a loop. I'm going to do 5 loops on each side, so it'll be 10 loops total. All right, so I have 5 loops on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am not going to put tails on this bow yet. I'll show you why in just a minute. I will add tails at the end, okay? I'm going to take my wire, and I have that center loop there, so I'm running that wire right through the center loop. Hope you can see that well. So I just ran that wire right through this center loop, and I'm going to bend that wire down, and I'm going to twist it. Okay, and then I am going to fluff this bow. So I'm taking my thumb and putting it on the wire, and then I am fluffing that bow. Okay, so there is my bow. Now, I am not going to add my greenery to my standing spray yet. I will add it at the end. I am going to place this bow onto this Koei wood pick. It's a 6-inch wood pick. And then I'm going to take the wire that's attached and just wrap it right around that wire. Okay, there's our bow. I'm going to put that right in the center of my fresh floral foam. Okay, so that looks funny, okay? And I realize that. It kind of looks funny, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how to finish that off, okay? Next, we're going to come in with our roses. So we are going to use red heart roses, and I'm going to remove any of the guard petals or any of the petals that don't look pretty. I'm just popping those right off. And then I am using my floral knife, and I'm going to come down and remove some of those thorns. That is not to prolong the life or anything like that of these roses. It is just strictly to keep that rose from biting me. So I'm going to show you how to wire a rose. Now here in our flower shop, we wire all of our roses. So what I'm going to do is there's a little swollen piece right up underneath the head of the rose. That's called the calyx. I'm taking my wire, pressing it right into that calyx, and then I'm twisting it right around that stem. Now what that's going to do is it's going to keep that little head from dipping, because as it doesn't have enough water, this stem gets really fragile, and it gets to where it's really limp, and it will not hold that heavy head up. So I like to wire all of our roses. So with a standing spray that is only one type of flower, we are going to, I'm going to show you how I like to place the roses. Try to back this up just a little bit so maybe you can see. So I'm going to start out with my tallest rose first, okay? I almost wonder if it would be easier for you to see if I move this door back behind. Because these flowers are red, I'm thinking maybe you can see on a lighter surface if I use the door as our background. Okay, so I'm going to take my rose, I'm cutting that stem at an angle, and I am inserting it right down into my floral foam. Now you try to put it in about the middle of the foam, okay? So there's our first rose. Here is our second. All of our roses have been wired, so I'm not gonna wire every single rose as we go. I've already done that. I'm gonna take my knife, cut that stem at an angle, and I am going to insert the bottom flower, okay? So push it into that foam, okay? It's hard for you to see. I don't think you're seeing. I'm gonna back you up a little bit. Okay, now you see the bottom rows. So the top rows and the bottom rows, okay? Next, what we're going to do is take our next rose and we're gonna stagger it down. So we're gonna put two on each side of the top rows. Cut that stem at an angle, insert that rose. And we're kind of staggering down. You can see that it's kind of a step down from the top rows. Now you would do this same technique with any single flower. So if you were going to use all carnations, you would really basically do the exact same technique. So I want the second rose to go about here. Cut that stem at an angle. And there's our third rose on the top. Now we're going to do exactly what we did there down here at the bottom. I'm removing any of those thorns. Put that stem at an angle and insert. I'm going to cut it a little more, it's a little long. Insert that right down into that floral foam. Now when you go to press something into foam, be sure that you insert that stem pretty deep, okay? Because what happens is if you go too shallow into the foam, you're going to have a problem with your flowers falling out. So when you go to insert it, go ahead and give it a little tug. If it pulls out really easily, then it needs to be pressed into that foam a little further so that it won't fall out. And you're going to learn that over time. It just takes time and practice to get that right. Okay, so now I have 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top, and you can kind of see that they're staggered, right? I don't know why this one guy, there we go, doesn't want to act right. Okay, you can see how they're staggered. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. Next, we're going to come in with our flowers on the side. So I'm going ahead and removing those thorns. Kind of measure and see roughly how long you want that stem. You will learn that you can just basically, you'll basically know how long it needs to be, but sometimes it takes a little practice. So hold it up there and see about how long it needs to be. Okay, and I'm doing 1 on each side. Basically right across from each other. So 1, 2. All All right, so there's these 2 roses, our 3 at the top and our 3 at the bottom. Next we're going to come in and I'm going to do a rose here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put them in those empty spots. So 1. So really you're just working all the way around, making somewhat of a diamond pattern. I don't know why this one's top rose wants to act funny. I may have to pull him out and reinsert him. 3. 4. Okay, so now you see I've kind of made a diamond shape with my roses. Now, the next roses, you're just going to stagger down. All we're doing is filling in with those roses. So stagger down, come down with the next one. Do the same pattern basically. Okay, so there are all of our red roses. Next we're going to come in with our foliage. So I'm going to start out with some jade, and jade is just a palm branch. Okay, and so I'm going to take this jade and I'm going to go in the same pattern that our roses are in. So we're just going to back our flowers with this greenery. So I took that stem, cut it at an angle, and I am just going to go all the way around the back of this arrangement with these palm branches. Now, if you do not have jade, that's completely okay. You can use any foliage that you have, okay? So it doesn't have to be a specific type of foliage. And as long as you can just back those flowers, you're pretty good. So I'm just going all the way around the back part of my flower arrangement with this foliage. Now, you can absolutely, if you have watched any of these videos that I've done, you've seen me put my foliage in first. And you can absolutely put your foliage in first if you would like. I find, though, since I have been trying to do it more this way, that I am saving money on foliage. And what I mean by that is, if I don't put my money into so much foliage, I can add more flowers, or I can add more filler flower instead of just using my money on the greenery. Now, it's all really up to you as a designer to do it however you like to do it. But I have really liked the fact that I can put my money elsewhere instead of my greenery. Because greenery is not quite as fun as the pretty flowers. the jade that I had. Okay, I'm gonna grab some spray to shine the leaves. Okay, so I got some Green Glow, and Green Glow is a plant shine. And what it does is it basically shines up those really dull leaves, and it helps to, I don't know, it just brightens the arrangement. It really makes a plant look so much prettier. Next, we're going to come in with a little bit of baby blue or spiral eucalyptus. Now, I love the added touch of pretty foliage into an arrangement. I really think that when you add pretty foliage to things, it just makes it look so much nicer. So I am taking some of our baby blue eucalyptus. I am adding it right into our pretty arrangement. Okay, and so the last thing we're going to do to this arrangement is add the tails. So you can see how, the reason I like to put that bow in first is, for me, I personally think I don't want this arrangement to look as if we have put a big bow on a gift. I like for the bow to kind of be integrated into the arrangement instead of like a big bow on top of a present. But I don't want the tails to get wet. And so what happens is, if I leave the tails on that bow and they're hanging down, they're going to get dripped on from the water from the standing spray. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to cut a long streamer of ribbon. Take that little tape off of it. I am going to take this streamer, see, I just folded it in half, it's just one long streamer. I'm going to take it and gather it right there in the middle, and take a wire pick and add that ribbon right to that wire pick. So just like that. Okay, so now I have streamers from my bow. So I'm going to take this pick and I am going to press it really deep into that foam and make it look as if this tail came or is attached to that bow. And there is your finished standing red rose spray. This spray, we retail this standing spray for $150. It has approximately, I think, 23 roses in it. But it's a very simple way to arrange an all single flower standing spray. You can do this exact same technique with any single flower. So if it were red roses or any rose, if it were carnations, if it were mums, and you had all the same type of flower to make a standing spray, this is the exact technique that you would use. Guys, I hope this helps. If you have any questions about how I put this together or how we do things here at our flower shop, you know you can absolutely ask. Drop that right down in the comments and we are so happy to answer that question for you. If you like this video, do us a great big favor and subscribe to our channel right down below. You can also check us out over on Facebook, where we do live videos every single day of the week. So pop over there, check us out. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you all real soon. Thanks, guys.